Preamble. We, the sovereign Filipino people, imploring the aid of Almighty God, in order to build a just and humane society and establish a government that shall embody our ideals and aspirations, promote the common good, conserve and develop our patrimony, and secure to ourselves our posterity the blessings of independence and democracy under the rule of law and a regime of truth, justice, freedom, love, equality, and peace, do ordain and promulgate this Constitution. Panimula ang 1987 Konstitusyon ng Republika ng Pilipinas. Kami ang nakapangyayaring sambayanang Pilipino na humingi ng tulong sa makapangyarihang Diyos upang bumuo ng isang makatarungan at makataong lipunan at magtatag ng isang pamahalaan na kakatawan sa aming mga mithiin at mga lunggatiin, magtataguyod ng kabutihan sa bawat isa, mangangalaga at magpapaunlad ng aming kamanahan at titiyak para sa aming sarili at ang kanang susunod ng mga biyaya ng kalayaan at demokrasya sa ilalim ng pananaig ng batas at ng pamamahalang puspos ng katotohanan, katarungan, kalayaan, pag-ibig, pagkakapantay-pantay at kapayapaan ay naglalagda at naghahayag ng konstitusyong ito.
1948 rings a bell? Oh yes, of course. It was in the last century. Grandma and Grandpa's generation. Legend has it that there were still dinosaurs hiding in caves up in the mountains. But that is something we're really not sure of at all. Back then, everyone was recovering from the Second World War and its 70 million dead, the most devastating conflict in human history. So in 1948, to make sure such atrocities would not happen again, the search for shared values began. Why? Have people unite around a strong symbol, the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. What is less known is that it was adopted by the UN General Assembly and has become the most translated text on Earth. But what are human rights? The rights you are entitled to simply because you are a human being. In other words, everyone benefits from them from birth, without exception or distinction. The idea behind it is that these rights are like needs. They are absolutely necessary to live well. Without them, it would be the law of the jungle, and you'd risk being beheaded if your government didn't like your Facebook status. In the Declaration's 30 articles, there are the civil and political liberties, such as the right to life, the right to vote, freedom of expression, or the prohibition of slavery and torture. Rights are interdependent, indivisible, and interrelated. This means that if a right is not respected, a series of other rights won't be either. If you are homeless, you live in the streets, so you can't sleep. You get sick, you don't go to school, and won't find a job. Violation of the right to adequate housing triggers the violation of the right to rest, the right to education, the right to work, etc. These are economic, social, and cultural rights. Okay, so a great text was agreed upon, but who does what? Well, on paper, the state's mission is to take the necessary measures for the declaration to be respected. But in reality, there are some very bad students. The declaration is not a legislative text, it's an ideal. Its name says it all, it is a declaration. Therefore, it is not valid in a court of law. But most states have integrated human rights in their constitution, and therefore, they must guarantee them. You can defend human rights only if you know them. Everybody's role is to ensure they are respected. Collective conscience means that each and every person is responsible for everybody else's well-being. Therefore, we can all get involved, protest against injustices, and make the universal rights ideal succeed.
The Universal Declaration of Human Rights, Articles 1 through 30. Article 1. All human beings are born free and equal in dignity and rights. They are endowed with reason and conscience, and should act towards one another in a spirit of brotherhood. Article 2. Everyone is entitled to all the rights and freedoms set forth in this declaration, without distinction of any kind, such as race, color, sex, language, religion, political or other opinion, national or social origin, property, birth, or other status. Furthermore, no distinction shall be made on the basis of the political, jurisdictional, or international status of the country or territory to which a person belongs, whether it be independent, trust, non-self-governing, or under any other limitation of sovereignty. Article 3. Everyone has the right to life, liberty, and security of person. Article 4. No one shall be held in slavery or servitude. Slavery and the slave trade shall be prohibited in all their forms. Article 5. No one shall be subjected to torture or to cruel, inhuman, or degrading treatment or punishment. Article 6. Everyone has the right to recognition everywhere as a person before the law. Article 7. All are equal before the law and are entitled without any discrimination to equal protection of the law. All are entitled to equal protection against any discrimination in violation of this declaration and against any incitement to such discrimination. Article 8. Everyone has the right to an effective remedy by the competent national tribunals for acts violating the fundamental rights granted him by the Constitution or by law. Article 9. No one shall be subjected to arbitrary arrest, detention, or exile. Article 10. Everyone is entitled in full equality to a fair and public hearing by an independent and impartial tribunal in the determination of his rights and obligations and of any criminal charge against him. Article 11. 1. Everyone charged with a penal offense has the right to be presumed innocent until proved guilty according to law in a public trial at which he has had all the guarantees necessary for his defense. 2. No one shall be held guilty of any penal offense on account of any act or omission which did not constitute a penal offense under national or international law at the time when it was committed. Nor shall a heavier penalty be imposed than the one that was applicable at the time the penal offense was committed. Article 12. No one shall be subjected to arbitrary interference with his privacy, family, home, or correspondence, nor to attacks upon his honor and reputation. Everyone has the right to the protection of the law against such interference or attacks. Article 13. 1. Everyone has the right to freedom of movement and residence within the borders of each state. 2. Everyone has the right to leave any country, including his own, and to return to his country. Article 14. 1. Everyone has the right to seek and to enjoy in other countries asylum from persecution. 2. This right may not be invoked in the case of prosecutions genuinely arising from non-political crimes or from acts contrary to the purposes and principles of the United Nations. Article 15. 1. Everyone has the right to a nationality. 2. No one shall be arbitrarily deprived of his nationality, nor denied the right to change his nationality. Article 16. 1. Men and women of full age, without any limitation due to race, nationality, or religion, have the right to marry and to found a family. They are entitled to equal rights as to marriage, during marriage, and at its dissolution. 2. Marriage shall be entered into only with the free and full consent of the intending spouses. 3. The family is the natural and fundamental group unit of society and is entitled to protection by society and the state. Article 17. 1. Everyone has the right to own property alone, as well as in association with others. 2. No one shall be arbitrarily deprived of his property. Article 18. Everyone has the right to freedom of thought, conscience, and religion. This right includes freedom to change his religion or belief, and freedom, either alone or in community with others, and in public or private, to manifest his religion or belief in teaching, practice, worship, and observance. Article 19. Everyone has the right to freedom of opinion and expression. This right includes freedom to hold opinions without interference, and to seek, receive, and impart information and ideas through any media and regardless of frontiers. Article 20. 1. Everyone has the right to freedom of peaceful assembly and association. 2. No one may be compelled to belong to an association. Article 21. 1. Everyone has the right to take part in the government of his country, directly or through freely chosen representatives. 2. Everyone has the right of equal access to public service in his country. 3. The will of the people shall be the basis of the authority of government. This will shall be expressed in periodic and genuine elections, which shall be by universal and equal suffrage, and shall be held by secret vote, or by equivalent free voting procedures. Article 22. Everyone, as a member of society, has the right to social security, and is entitled to realization through national effort and international cooperation, and in accordance with the organization and resources of each state, of the economic, social, and cultural rights indispensable for his dignity and the free development of his personality. Article 23. 1. Everyone has the right to work, to free choice of employment, to just and favorable conditions of work, and to protection against unemployment. 2. Everyone, without any discrimination, has the right to equal pay for equal work. 3. Everyone who works has the right to just and favorable remuneration, ensuring for himself and his family an existence worthy of human dignity, and supplemented, if necessary, by other means of social protection. 4. Everyone has the right to form and to join trade unions for the protection of his interests. Article 24. Everyone has the right to rest and leisure, including reasonable limitation of working hours, and periodic holidays with pay. Article 25. 1. Everyone has the right to a standard of living adequate for the health and well-being of himself and of his family, including food, clothing, housing, and medical care, and necessary social services, and the right to security in the event of unemployment, sickness, disability, widowhood, old age, or other lack of livelihood in circumstances beyond his control. 2. Motherhood and childhood are entitled to special care and assistance. All children, whether born in or out of wedlock, shall enjoy the same social protection. Article 26. 1. Everyone has the right to education. Education shall be free, at least in the elementary and fundamental stages. Elementary education shall be compulsory. Technical and professional education shall be made generally available, and higher education shall be equally accessible to all on the basis of merit. 2. Education shall be directed to the full development of the human personality and to the strengthening of respect for human rights and fundamental freedoms. It shall promote understanding, tolerance, and friendship among all nations, racial or religious groups, and shall further the activities of the United Nations for the maintenance of peace. 3. Parents have a prior right to choose the kind of education that shall be given to their children. Article 27. 1. Everyone has the right freely to participate in the cultural life of the community, to enjoy the arts, and to share in scientific advancement and its benefits. 2. Everyone has the right to the protection of the moral and material interests resulting from any scientific, literary, or artistic production of which he is the author. Article 28. Everyone is entitled to a social and international order in which the rights and freedoms set forth in this declaration can be fully realized. Article 29. 1. Everyone has duties to the community in which alone the free and full development of his personality is possible. 2. In the exercise of his rights and freedoms, everyone shall be subject only to such limitations as are determined by law solely for the purpose of securing due recognition and respect for the rights and freedoms of others, and of meeting the just requirements of morality, public order, and the general welfare in a democratic society. 3. These rights and freedoms may in no case be exercised contrary to the purposes and principles of the United Nations. Article 30. Nothing in this declaration may be interpreted as implying for any state, group, or person any right to engage in any activity or to perform any act aimed at the destruction of any of the rights and freedoms set forth herein.
Ang mga tao sa mundo ay puno ng diskriminasyon. Hindi niyo ba naitatanong kung bakit may mga taong ganon? Kung bakit ganon na lang ang kanilang puot, galit at pagkamuhi sa mga taong hindi nila kapareho? Bakit sa tingin mo nakakalamang ka kung ang kultura mo at kultura niya ay magkaiba? Oo, sa kultura man ay hindi magkapareho, ngunit pare-pareho lamang tayong isang hamak na tao. Bakit sa tingin niyo nakakalamang kayo kung ang isa ay itim at ang isa ay puti? Kung ang isa ay lalaki at ang isa ay babae? Oo, sa lahi at kasarian man ay hindi magkapareho, ngunit pare-pareho lamang tayong isang hamak na tao. Bakit sa tingin nila nakakalamang sila kung ang isa ay tuwid at ang isa ay bakla? Kung ang isa ay Kristiyano at isa ay Hudyo? Oo. Sa sexualidad at relihiyon man ay hindi magkapareho, ngunit pare-pareho lamang tayong isang hamak na tao. Kung tayo lang ay matutong umanawa, iginagalang ang pananaw at pagkakaiba ng bawat isa, kung gayon tiyak na darating ang kapayapaan sa mundo. Lahat ay dapat tratuhin ng pantay. Lahat ay dapat tratuhin ng pantay, hindi mahalaga kung ano ang iyong relihiyon o ang iyong kulay. Lahat ay dapat tratuhin ng pantay dahil ang bawat isa ay may karapatan. Karapatan na mabigyan ng pagkakataon na mabuhay ng malaya. Malaya sa diskriminasyon, sapagkat lahat ay dapat tratuhin ng pantay sa kadahilanang we are all under the same sky.
Tutoy, bilisan mo ang takbo. Ilagan ang mga bumbang nakatutok sa ulo mo. Totoy, tumalon ka, dumapa kung kailangan, at baka tamaan pa ng mga balang ligaw. Totoy, makinig ka, huwag kang magpagabi. Baka mapagkamalan ka at humandusay dyan sa tabi. Totoy, alam mo ba kung ano ang punot dulo ng di matapos-tapos na kaguluhang ito? Tunay na magatlaban ang kulay at tatak ay di sayang dahilan hanggat maraming ang lugmok sa kahirapan at ang hustisya ay para lang sa mayaman. Habang may tatsulok at sila ang nasa tuktok, di matatapos itong gulo. Iligtas ang hininga ng kairaming tao at ang dating munting bukid ngayoy sementeryo. Tutoy, kumilos ka, baliktarin ang tatsulok tulad ng dukha na iligay mo sa tuktok. Di pula't dilaw ang tunay na magkalaban, ang kulay at tatak ay di siyang dahilan hanggat marami ang lugmok sa kahirapan at ang hustisya ay para lang sa mayaman. Habang may tatsulok at sila ang nasa tuktok, di matatapos itong gulo. Habang mana? Di pula't dilaw ang tunay na magkalaban, ang kulay at tatak ay di siyang dahilan hanggat marami ang lugmok sa kahirapan at ang hustisya ay para lang sa mayaman. Habang may tatsulok at sila ang nasa tuktok, di matatapos itong gulo. Habang may tatsulok at sila ang nasa tuktok, di matatapos itong gulo. Yeah! Di matatapos itong gulo.